Can you say that 5 times in a row fast?
Cyber-sigilism, 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 cyber-sigilism.
There it is, Mic drop. I am expecting you guys to draw something. I will give you a prompt.
Pressure.
You have 30 minutes. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Brut Table. This is an Adobe Creative Cloud edition, and we have a super fun panel with us. Please identify yourselves.
My name is Alicia. I'm an illustrator based out of Bangalore.
I'm Shantanu Zarika. I am a multidisciplinary visual artist.
I'm Mira Malhotra. I am a visual artist and a graphic designer.
Hey guys, I'm Anik. I run a design studio called Designer in Bombay.
Thought we'd start with this. What is art?
What is this bombshell? What is art?
How's that for a conversation starter? Shantanu, let's go. What is art?
What is art? Seriously?
Should I go back to the script?
Yeah.
So what is your guys' favorite color?
If there is anything that's orange, I don't look at the price tag. I just have to get it.
I always like the colors that are in between the primaries in the color wheel, like all the teals and the purples.
Yes.
I think we all know.
I mean, yeah,
like this
pretty
one.
sure. Yeah, it's black.
Black
I've always associated with the color black as my first ever medium still is ink, and also the fact that it's like uniform for all the metalheads.
Well, mine is the opposite, the happiest color.
Is that right?
I mean,
Yellow?
Yellow.
Well, Alicia, how did you get your start in the world of art?
So I was born and brought up in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi. So we didn't have like a lot of art around at all. And I loved the comics in the newspaper, so I used to cut out Garfield, and it's the best. But you know what part about Garfield I love the most? Not even the comic part, but the header, which is different every day. And then I didn't think I was gonna get into art, and I'm cutting the long story short. My art teacher said, you should. And then I studied graphic design, and then I wanted to actually just get into illustration.
What would you say your first software was that you tried out?
Actually, I started with Illustrator, so I was like, oh, I love vectors. And then I just got into Photoshop.
Okay. What about you, Shantanu?
I grew up in Assam, Guwahati. We get counterfeit products from the bordering countries, and it comes to India through our state. So we used to get access to all the cool stuff before it spread out. So I used to copy a lot of those Dragon Ball Z characters, a lot of those comic book covers and characters, and I used to like get, oh bro, you're such a good artist. That's so cool. I'm like, yeah, why don't you buy this? I'm gonna buy more comic books out of this.
My first client was my friend. Like,
Yeah, it is.
That's amazing.
It was my first. Like,
You'll charge your friends like that?
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
somebody tagged me in this post for this Red Bull Doodle Art World Championship thing. I took part. I won the World Championship, and then I got my first ever like a contract.
For sure. And what was the first software you dived into?
Photoshop, because everyone told me Photoshop's the deal. Like you have to know how to do Photoshop in order to make album covers and stuff. So for me to work around posters and album covers, I learned Photoshop. And yeah, I think that's my first software. And digital painting also. I still do a lot of digital painting on Photoshop.
That's what's up. To the right side of my panel. Take it away,
Yes.
Mira.
I grew up in Saudi Arabia actually. The only place that we really had to go to for fun was the supermarket. Cereals like Count Chocula, which used to have those little like moons and stars in them. So I kind of got really attracted to character design, though it's probably taken me 20 years to figure out that I really like character design. Yeah, and when we were growing up, people used to not even say, are you a designer? They were like, are you a Photoshop artist?
What about you, Anik?
My mom put me into drawing class, and I did. I used to draw like you everywhere, hands, books, everywhere. And when I was drawing, and after like the school happened, and I started realizing I'm not drawing for myself. I was drawing to impress other people.
I think that's exactly what I was
That
trying
led
to
me
say
to
also.
design, because you don't design for yourself, right? 99.7% of the people in the world are non-designers. Logo design was something which was really my calling.
How would you pitch your art style to me?
It's very obviously cartoony, quirky, whimsical, happy. Also, yeah.
Me.
Yes, bro.
So most of my work is feels very unfinished, very raw. Even when I'm using like softwares like Illustrator or Photoshop, even if I'm digitally painting, it still feels like an analog or a hand-drawn picture. So most of my work has a lot of symbolism, a lot of hidden meanings that are like inspired from mythological storytelling.
All right, Mira, how would you pitch your art style to me?
Kind of like things that I've observed from like human relations as well as gender dynamics or in and around my life, specifically like taking it from a personal lens, because I feel like there's so much stuff that doesn't make it to the mainstream, and I want to be the person who represents what's not in the mainstream.
I love to communicate without talking. So when you see some typography which we have made, that will make you feel something. That will, it can be a good feeling or a bad feeling, you never know, but it will move something in your body.
Guys, what is one advice you would give creative professionals out there who are trying to source new clients?
Make self-initiated projects around the stuff that you really like to do. Once you make a skill demonstrable, people will come.
If anyone's starting, you're not going to get the project of your dreams, so create it. And like, so you'll see an end result and someone will see what you're capable of within these. And
Exactly.
so you can do even two types. One is like without restraint at all. Like, so if you're making packaging, you can make an unrealistic package of like, 500 spikes coming out of it. Spikes. I don't know why.
Unnecessary, no? That
It's
was very
adorable.
intentional.
I've done that.
It's,
So it's on point. I've done that.
I think that would be amazing, but also obviously that would be unrealistic. So I'm saying, but then you can also do one where it becomes very practical, and so someone will see what your practical results would be.
I feel like always a blend of 30 to 40% of what your style is, combine it with what the brief
What the
is.
client wants,
What the
yeah.
client wants
Yeah.
kind of makes your aesthetic stick well.
You have to, especially Indians, us, we have to be shameless. It can be as simple as when you're walking down the street, you look at a piece of artwork or a logo and then you criticize it. We love doing that, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what next? In fact, let's criticize it, but let's also take a step further in reaching out to the person who created it or the brand.
What happens with most of the brands, like there's always a calendar that goes around.
Oh yeah, right.
So there are obviously activations, there are like the marketing strategies there, then again the PR is there. So it's always, for me, it's been understanding the clock around the year on which time the brands are mostly active and they have the budgets to sort of collaborate on an extensive manner. Festivals, right?
Huge here.
I want to dive into your creative processes, guys.
I'm more of a writer when it comes to ideas. So like even though I sketch,
Same here.
I will tell the client what to expect on like in words as opposed to sketches.
Concept note.
Absolutely. That is the word. Then they get an idea and they prove that, as opposed to giving like 5 rendered sketches or something like that.
And are you like listening to music or like what's the
Actually,
vibe?
I'm a big documentary as a podcast person.
I always highlight words, always like key points, because a brief can be never ending. Like, because especially with brands, they'll show something else and the brief's gonna talk about something else.
Yeah.
It's most of the time
Yeah.
it's something like that. Like it's very rare that you come across really, really good briefs. Then what I do is I make my own version of that brief. Then I start reverse engineering those points. I see the visual reference, I see the keywords, and I see the brand history, and I see where they're coming from to this point. And the current popular culture was there.
For designers, once you go beyond those initial first 5 concepts is when the real magic starts to happen. So I have this rule in the company that we don't stop and we don't open our laptops. Okay, we can do for some research, but we don't stop before 20 different ideations and concepts.
I would hate working for you.
I mean, you don't want the company to come and sue you because the logo was copied, right? That's
Of course not.
Yeah,
But still, like, there are 20 ideas though. I'm like, first idea gone, done, end of story.
I'd love to hear your guys' 2 cents on AI and how it's changing the industry.
The artist's eye is different. The artist's thoughts are different. Anybody putting in a prompt is just gonna get a stock image. But the real, like a person who's trying to tell a story or is like a narrative to tell is going to create something very different. And I think that's going to become like now the valued asset.
Last year, when I was in Adobe Max in Miami, I remember watching the keynote, and there was this time when they introduced the Illustrator feature where you can literally change the layout with just a click of a button. Small things like that, even generative expand, it saves so much time.
That's really useful, especially if you're doing photography, cleaning up, and that used to take like stamp tool.
Oh yeah.
Like if you know like the
Stamp
history,
tool.
use stamp tool and you can be a
Spot heel
pro.
or stamp?
Spot heel.
Spot heel or
No,
stamp?
no, I'm stamp.
Stamp?
I'm team stamp.
Spot heel.
Oh
Spot heel,
really?
spot
Oh
heel.
man, I'm
Spot
team
heel.
stamp.
I use both.
Use both.
I used to use both. Now we have AI.
Now we have
Team
AI.
lasso.
Oh.
Let's try to change the pace, guys. We'll do a quick little segment. Do's, don'ts, and dread design edition. One design habit that was tough for you to kick.
Not naming my layers. Yeah, 100%. Before,
I still don't.
I mean, I know there's like it's too hard.
Before you had to like go and toggle the visibility of
Yes,
each layer.
yeah.
Now I started like fully naming my layers,
Oh, that's a lot. That's
Grouping
good
them.
on you.
grouping them, giving the color codes and everything.
He's
Yeah.
using all the colors in the color palette for sure. I've
Never had that problem.
and it's better to just have like a nice limited palette. It just makes the whole drawing looks more put together.
A creative trend you love and one you can't stand.
Okay, so I really love the Illustrator 3D inflate tool.
Oh, that's actually really nice. It is really
Coolest
nice.
thing.
It is.
It's like I can't really do 3D work, so this is just like a nice shortcut.
Like every other fashion brand, every other alternative brand, or anyone or making posters or anything, just simply go and make something with thorns and they create typefaces using cyber sigilism, and it's everywhere.
What was that word again?
Cyber sigilism.
Can you say that 5 times in a row, fast?
Cyber sigilism, cyber sigilism, cyber sigilism, cyber sigilism, cyber sigilism.
There it is. Mic drop.
This actually reminds me of something which I absolutely love and I hate at the same time, is minimalism. If you look at fashion brands, the logos of fashion brands, all the top ones for the past decade, all of
The
them have been
redesigns.
flat. Interiors of airlines.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at buildings, if you look at architecture, if you look at simple pillars, all of them have lost character.
It gets away with doing nothing too easily without adding character, and that's and also I think it might be not always. If it serves the purpose, it serves the purpose.
Yeah. I think what makes a good or bad creative?
I would say someone who is not open to feedback.
I think it's about only focusing on skill and execution and not putting in a bit like, you know, your thoughts and your concepts and I feel there's a lot of work out there that just looks like it could have been done by anybody skilled.
And I feel like a good creative is someone who's, like you said, open to feedback is a very important point, because you're not being rigid. A creative person, I feel like gets very rigid when they're intimidated by a medium or something which is beyond their skill set. But as an artist, as a designer, the more skills you have, the better it is for you to express, right? Even as an artist.
One creative tool you can't live without.
Photoshop.
What's the tool in Photoshop?
What's
Have
the
you
tool
more-
in
yeah,
Photoshop?
have you more specific?
It has to be pencil tool, of course, because I use that to draw. Yeah, but otherwise lasso.
I use the curves a lot because most of my artwork, I usually are analog and I document it. Then I have to do a lot of correction work because digitally I have to make it viable for different screens and stuff.
So Illustrator Magic Wand is another one where so I'm working on a brand identity and I have to tweak a color because the client was like, no, it's too bright or it needs to go. I always get, no, it's too bright. Mira's feedback is always, no, it's too bright.
Send them to me.
Pick up all the reds that were too bright, for example, and change it in one shot. It's like the holy trinity.
That's
Photoshop, Illustrator,
yeah.
and InDesign.
Yeah. It's similar.
They have to be on my system.
100% Illustrator. And one tool I can't live without is actually the Shape Builder tool.
Yeah, Shift and everything.
Like any single logo you see, everything is probably made by Shape Builder.
I would love to start a fun little segment called the Quick Render. I am expecting you guys to draw something. I will give you a prompt.
Pressure.
You have 30 minutes. Your prompt is a visual love letter to my favorite color.
Orange, right?
I'm really seeing the orange.
One eternity later.
What was the color you've picked, and show us?
Okay, of course, it was orange, and the descender of the G really stood out to me and sort of tried to make an orange with an orange. and I took this vertical line of R to make it like a stem with the leaf. So it's like a logo for orange.
Yeah, man. Very cool, dude. Very nice.
Okay, so mine was, I said teal, though it's also like seafoam green. So I did this whole sea. All right, and there are all these cute little characters there chilling. Crazy.
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
The person who literally invented heavy metal passed away like few days back. So this is
R.I.P.
like
Ozzy.
I redid the face to sort of match the likeness to Ozzy, and the posture and body is inspired from Frank Frazetta, who used to make all the comic books and the old-time animation and posters for most of the album artworks. I took some parts from my previous artworks like the wolves, the bat wing, and I re-sketched most of his stuff. This is a tribute to the color black and to the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, so I didn't do yellow because when you said love letter, I was thinking about love, so I said blue, and I actually wanted to use all the colors, and I'm like, how cheaty do I want to get? Okay, that's it.
Ooh, there it is.
That's it. Okay.
Whimsy.
I don't know, something that love is like reminds me of water flowing and calm, and blue is calm. Da 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 da.
How are we feeling, guys?
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Did we have fun today? I feel like we got to know each other on a deeper level. It's been a couple of hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel connected to you guys.
I feel inspired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
By me?
Yes.
Okay. But until next time, I've been your host, Nihal Ranjit, and this was Brut Table. Thank you.